had chosen heroin over family, because he could have remained a single man and just had sex with 10,000 women and got high every day. All that would not exist. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you get this? This is in economics, they call this a ripple effect. This is a ripple effect. A ripple effect is that your choices aren't just your choices. Your choices define the range of choices that are even going to be available for people that you're going to impact. Men are very powerful. We are powerful, especially when we know our power. Men are powerful. Women are powerful, right? And just we're all powerful in different ways. A toxic, dysfunctional, ignorant ass, crazy ass, horrible ass, violent ass man can ruin the lives of dozens, hundreds, even thousands of people. You don't believe me? I'll give you an example in a minute, but let me finish the point here. But a great man who realizes his greatness, that is very conscious of his power and maximizes his power in a good way, can elevate an entire nation. Look at Martin Luther King. But let me give you an example of how a toxic, a powerful man can have a multi-generational impact on the family. There was this old man I knew. Y'all might have heard this story before. I got to tell it because it's relevant now. I had this girlfriend 20 something years ago, and she had a grandfather who lived in Indianapolis, and he was 97 years old. And this little old man lived in his house all by himself. And the only company he had that would come to his house was this 28-year-old girl who used to come to his house and literally smoke crack with him. I kid you not. Like that, he was 20. He was a tough OG. He was literally like smoking, smoking it up the pipe with this 28-year-old girl. He's in his 90s. It was crazy. I'd never seen that before. And I was like, wow, this old man, he seems nice and he's living all by himself. Why isn't anybody like coming to see? He had about 5 or 6 kids, about 15 grandkids, and nobody would come see him. And then I heard the story, and the story was that when this old man was a young man, he was a terrible man. He was so terrible that he attacked his wife with a hammer. He abused and beat up his own children on multiple occasions in terrible ways. And he was so terrible, so toxic that they all got away from him. But then if you looked at the kids and the grandkids, they were all, I mean, this was a crazy family. There was, most of them had broken families. Most of the girls were single mothers. The men were broken as well, all the way down to the grandchildren. So this man's behavior had a multi-generational impact on his family. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you allow a culture to take a 21-year-old kid who could have become anything, and you make him into a drug addict, then that has implications that go far beyond what's happening right now. So what I see with these young guys in 2024 is nothing compared to the chaos that will exist in 2034, 2044, and 2054. This is the beginning of the Big Bang. You know how the Big Bang starts off real small and then it just explodes. That's what it is. And this is why you don't want other people impacting your culture, because they're really destroying your future, your present, and your future at the same time. Um, and just to go full circle with that, just as a little tidbit, little factoid, I was on an airplane. I was sitting with a black man who was not an FBI agent, but he worked for what do they call it, the Bureau of Tobacco and Firearms or whatever. Not TFA. You know what I'm talking about? Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. ATF. So they used to do drug raids and all this other stuff, and they used to go and they would arrest some rappers and stuff like that every now and then or whatever.